Hi everybody, this is Brian Koo with another ROK video, and we are looking in on day 1, hour 3 of our Siege of Orleans war against 1818 and 903. This was very early on in the fight. I was busy down south fighting against 1903, and I saw on the scroll that Nolar, a new migrant to our kingdom, had been imprisoned and that 1818 had set a rally on his city. Now, this is something very common when passes open to a new zone. You have a lot of players who random teleport around so they can more conveniently do damage to their enemies. And it is ultimately a high-risk, high-reward situation for both sides. It is not just the city being rallied that's taking a high-risk, high-reward proposition, but it is also the attacking team. And I think that's something that we are going to demonstrate in this video, where if you do it right, if you do the swarm right, you do the rallies right, you can absolutely destroy an active fighter from the opposing team. But if you do it wrong, you just end up getting some bad trades and you lose more troops than the city does. Now, in this case, Nolar was absolutely an important fighter for our alliance. He was part of the very large migration we had from Kingdom 1252. Nolar was and is a leader of that group. He was someone who was on voice chat all the time. He's part of our Osiris League team, and he's a 100 million power player that would ultimately be a very valuable player in this KvK. I'm trying not to spoil the video by saying too much here. But you know, the point I'm trying to make is that when you have a city in this sort of situation, you have the opportunity to eliminate an active fighter from your enemy team. You know, if you can kill all their troops, or if you can, give them several million dead, then you can really take this player out of commission for the duration of the war. If they are down to, 1 million troops left, then they essentially cannot fill any rallies, and they only have a few open field marches left. And I'm sure that's what 1818 had in mind in this situation. Let's eliminate one of the many fighters that we're going to have to get through if we're going to win this war. And 1818, because they're a whale alliance, they are well positioned to take advantage of a situation like this. When you are a 200 million power player and you are swarming a city, you can take 1 million or 2 million deads, but a player like Nolar at 100 million power, if they lose 200 million troops or 2 million troops, then they're in real trouble. The rest of their war is significantly affected. So the rally was in from Cigar King. There is not a ton of time left on this imprison. There's maybe 4 or 5 minutes left on this imprison at this point. Cigar King is rallying, and Nolar was on voice chat, and the voice chat got very serious very quickly. I was trying to help Nolar out and tell him what to do, but the truth is I have never been in this situation before, and so I didn't know exactly how it works. Another player, Eli, has taken a number of city rallies, and I think he was giving better advice where he just said, keep spamming the heal button. Spam the heal button over and over again. What happens is you're in your hospital, you're trying to heal. The heal button is normally blue. The gem heal button is normally yellow. Those buttons are grayed out. But then the moment when there's no fighting, the moment when the fight ends, the rally disperses, the swarmers walk away, in that brief 1 second moment, the heal button will become active, and if you just keep spamming that heal button, you should be able to get a very quick heal off, and then you can complete the heal while this second wave of swarmers is attacking your city. And despite the voice chat being a little bit chaotic, despite me not giving great advice, Nolar did manage to get heals off nearly every time during this swarm. And what we were doing on voice was we were just saying to him, okay, it's soon, it's soon, it's soon. Like, he was not seeing the rally, so he didn't know exactly when, you know, his health bar was going to be at 0. So we were just telling him, it's soon, get ready, get ready, get ready. And Nolar was able to get a number of heals off here, which meant that every time a new round of swarming started, Nolar had 740,000 capacity in his hospital, and the swarmers had to fill up that 740k before they got to any deads. And when you see the reports for this, you will see how incredibly important it was that Nolar got those heals off. Because even though there's no rally, even though this is just swarming, they fill up his hospital every single time and give him deads every single time. And so if he had not gotten these heals off, if he had had a full hospital every time, I believe he would have essentially been zeroed in this situation. Because ultimately, he basically saved himself about 2.5 to 3 million troops by just healing every single time. And on the enemy team, what happened here is that at the very beginning, they had some very, very big players swarming this rally. Cigar King, who is a 300 million power player, was swarming the rally, or swarming the city with his rally. But then after a round or two, those big boys, their health gets very low, and so they have to walk away. And so it's a weaker and weaker group of swarmers as this goes on. And you can actually see that the number of potential swarmers is very much thinning out as this city swarming session winds down. And I think Nolar's probably going to teleport away right here. I know that on the very last swarm, I guess it'll be the next one. By the way, we were fighting elsewhere on the map as this was happening. So it was sort of this, you know, multi-action moment in the war. But yeah, so on this is the last full swarm here. Nolar did get a heal off this time. And actually right here is the very first time that Nolar does not get a heal off. That Guan hit the city very quickly. Nolar did not get a heal off here, but the imprison is gone, and so he has the luxury of teleporting away, which is exactly what he did. I removed the marker about helping Nolar, and it was time to look at those reports. So here's the Cigar King rally. The rally does very well. It fills up his hospital. Nolar takes some deads. Here are a couple of Cigar King swarms. You can see that, you know, he doesn't fill up the hospital right away. But then here on this Zug Nebu swarm, Cigar King has filled up the hospital, and he's just gotten a nice trade against that city. But then, as it goes on, as it's a weaker group of swarmers, Nolar gets very good trades. Here on the second swarm, it's 400k deads for Nolar versus 1.4 million deads for the enemy. On the third swarm here, it is 100k deads for Nolar, 1.1 million deads for the enemy. You can see he's filling up his hospital every time. There's that 740,000 severely woundeds on each one of these battle reports. In this one, Nolar does 150k dead, but he gives 1.3 million deads to the enemy. And then here is the very last report where Nolar teleports away midway through. You can see he did not fill up his hospital this time. He took 200k deads, did 400k deads to the enemy. It was ultimately a very nice trade for us. Nolar survived. He took some deads there, but ultimately in the KvK he would take 3 million deads. I think he only took right around 1 million deads in this situation. He finished a 10th or so in the kingdom in contribution for the entire KvK. And so, you know, you can just see that this was a high leverage situation where either team could have done very well. Nolar ultimately got good advice and got those heals off in time and did very well in one of the first contacts that we had with 1818 in this entire KvK. There's plenty more from this war in the future, and so I encourage everyone to throw a like on the video if you enjoy this content, subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. I've got another video sketched out for this weekend. If I get enough likes on the video, enough supportive comments, and enough new subscribers, that will motivate me to do the voiceover over the weekend, and then there will be another quality ROK video waiting for you all on Monday morning. So, you know, throw a like on the video, give me that motivation that I need to, you know, get off my butt and get these videos done. And until next time, I will see you all on the flip side.